Good evening, people. We are back out on the beach. Try and get you straight. Still filming off a shoddy, broken tripod. Camera's held on by a piece of elastic band. Yeah, hope everyone's good. It has been well long since I've been able to get out properly. So I've decided to come down to Holland on Sea this evening. I don't normally fish here a lot anymore, to be honest with you. But I've got no work this weekend. I thought, you know what, I'm going to go sit on the beach, pack 2 rods, pack up my bivvy, and just chill. It's a lovely evening. It's the 18th of September, 17th. No, it's the 19th actually. Anyway, it's in September, so I know it's in the dark. I did intend to get out in the early evening when there's a bit of sunlight, but I got away a bit late, so I'm here. High tide's at 11:30. Like I said, I don't normally fish here a lot anymore, but I thought, why not give it a go? I ain't been, to be fair, I haven't been out much at all this summer. Been busy with life, work, family, which isn't a bad thing. Fresh lines on the reels. If people watch my videos, really know what rods I'm using. Using the Zolkron XT Super Lights. I love them. I think I say in every single video that I love them. I hope everyone is well. What's everyone been doing? Fishing wise, it's been very quiet down our way. Heading down to Weymouth at the start of next month. Going after a few elusive cod. Well, codling, I reckon. Although there has been some popping up this year. Right, it's going to be hard to film today because I'm in the dark. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to wet my lines quickly and then try not to bore you too much. Show you my rig, show my bait, and then yeah, we'll get cracking. Oh, right, so that's the lines wet. So when it gets to end of September, October time, I definitely use that as a changeover period from using ragworm to changing to lugworm. Yeah, I definitely think this is a good changeover period. So tonight I brought some lugworm with me, and hoping for a nice bass. That's the kind of target at this time of year. Wouldn't say. I mean, there is an outside chance of an early codling, but I'm thinking bass tonight. Maybe some thornback rays. So we'll fish lug on one rod, and then just squid on the other. Thinking loop rig with lug at distance, and then a short pulley with the squid. Keep it nice and simple. I was going to bring some capsule rigs, but I have left them at home. Let's see what we got. I did have a little bit of a mini sort out of my rigs the other day. Changed the old hook, the hook snoods. Recycle the old rigs. Yeah, so I'll fish a 2 hook loop, size 2.0 hooks with lugworm on. They've got bait stops on. Yep, they have. For my bait stops now, I just use a bit of silicone tubing There is a tutorial on Vill's mail order in regards to bait stops. That is a very handy trick when it comes to bait stops, because rather than, let me just straighten you up a bit. There you go. Yeah, so yeah, take a look at that video. That's very handy. Open your eyes to what you can use for your bait stops, and yeah, very handy. Saves having to buy them little ones on the wires, which you got to thread on, the tight ones. If you just use a bit of silicone tubing, it's cheap as chips, and you can also just take them on and off as you please. All right, I've only got a packet of lug with me today. I ain't going mad. Packet of squid. I've actually got a packet of soft shell crab with me, which I think I might chuck out in the chance of a late hound. So let's just get some of these worms. They're actually a nice size for this time of year, to be fair. So in it, I haven't got a lot of lug with me today. It's always important. I'll always bring out a tray with me. I put my bait tools in one section, bits of baits in the other. Never just chuck all your bait in there, because even at night, it's warm. There's no sun, but that bait will go off quick. So keep it in the best condition as you can. Like the same with the squid, I will open it up. This is solid frozen, it's just come out of the freezer. But I will open it up, put 2 or 3 in there, so I can cut up and do whatever. Let them defrost. The rest go back in the ice pot. Ice pot, the freezer bag. It is very important to keep that in pretty good condition. Do not get me wrong. You can take bait out as long as it stays relatively frozen. It can go back in the freezer, come out in the next session. It don't have to be completely fresh, but it's important to keep it at a state where, rather than just literally letting it nuke out and then go back, it's pointless. It's to keep your frozen bait frozen and your fresh bait fresh. Everyone says that. Right. What am I doing? Right. Have I got a bait needle in here? Silly sausage has only come out of a bait needle, hasn't he? Let's see another box. Oh well. Right. So I was going to demonstrate to you lovely people how to put a lugworm on a bait needle, but I've got a tool here which has got a hole in one end. I'm worried it's going to pierce the lugworm. Let's give it a try, shall we? Right. Don't know if you can see me or not, but give it a try. Pretty common knowledge anyway. Once you just go up, the most important thing with lug is to not pop it, because once it pops, it's not completely not usable, but you lose a lot of the scenting once they pop. So you ideally want them to pop out there in the sea. Yeah, I thought today, it was a lovely day. I was at work. I thought, you know what? I haven't been fishing in a while. I'm going to head out. I've got no work this weekend. I thought, let's have a go, shall we? It has been very quiet this year. I tell you what, I'm going to put 2 on there. So repeat the process. When it comes to bait needles, I don't always think you actually need a spike. Sometimes when you're trying to not pop it, a spike can just actually be a bit of a hindrance. At least if you've got a blunt needle, as long as it gets through the head part, you can just guide it through without piercing. So I actually don't mind using the blunt end of a paint needle with the ragworm because their heads are quite hard. If you cut off the head, that actually works quite well. There we go. Very basic ragworm bait on the bottom, and then so I'm going to put 2 lugworm on each hook, as these worms aren't actually that big. And see how we go. I only got a packet. Yeah, personally, I don't really think I'll go through it that quick. Got my frozen bait with me as well. See, these worms, they're not quite fresh. That's not a bad thing. That's actually a good thing because once they're out of the sea or the sand, sorry, and if they're left for 2 or 3 days, they'll toughen up and they won't pop as easy. So I always find lugworm better when it's actually toughened up a bit. All right. Let's wash your hands. That's the one thing you need as well when using lugworm, a rag, because that stuff gets everywhere. All right. No need for a grip lead today. Using simple 4-ounce pyramid lead. I don't know if you can see that. If I'm honest with you, I'm just looking things up. I'm blinded by the torch, so you might not be able to see me. So you can just hear my lovely voice. Close your eyes. Just picture this: Holland on Sea, a warm late summer's evening, with some lugworm and a loop rig. Equals a blank. That's the way it's going at the minute. Like I said, I ain't been out a lot at all this summer, which is but commitments are more important. So I will get this bait. I will get this hooked up quickly. You know what? I'll try. Which is always hard to do without it being hooked up. Right, so bottom snood in the imp. Can you hear me? Second snood in the cascade tool. Right, so voila. There we have it. A nice loop rig, armed with lugworm on a autumnal. I say autumnal, not quite autumnal, but on the way to autumnal evening down Holland on Sea. Now that has got cod written all over it, or bass. So I don't know if you are going to be able to see me. I'll just prop the camera up, poke the torch my direction, and I'm going to hope for the best. Absolutely lovely evening. It's warm, but there's a nice little breeze just to cool off. It is around 17 degrees still. So in regards to my casting, I haven't cast a multiplier in about 4 months. So I'm just going to flick it out gently, little half pendulum, then we'll go from there. So that bait is out there. Let's put my night tide tip light on. Lovely. So that is out there. Actually went a bit left, to be fair. I haven't cast them rods in a while, so good job I've got the whole bait to myself. Because sorry, head torch. That would have gone straight over someone else's line if they were next to me. But oh well. Yeah. So next rig, we said short pulley with a squid. Oh mate, I need to invest in better camera equipment. What I need is more subscribers to pay me some money to buy me a camera, basically. So you all pull your finger out and get subscribing, we might be able to get more equipment. Am I joking? Am I joking? Right. Right. There's my rig wallet. There we go. Yeah, so we have a short pulley. I'm half tempted to have that on the earth rig, actually. Do I have it on? There is a bit of tide there, to be fair. Might no, no. Keep it simple. Stick to a plan, and if it don't work, we'll adapt the plan. Don't know if you can see, but my bivvy light, which is night tide. I'll show you my tip light as well, tip torch. If you look on nighttide.co.uk, there's all this stuff on there. Very good stuff. Very simple yet effective quality components. Nice light as well. So we shall get out some squid next. Like I said, I've got some soft shell crab, which I might chuck on every now and then. But the main goal, also the main plan, is squid and lugworm. This rig has not been untangled for a while. This wasn't on camera. This just go all out. Wondering if the whiting would come in today. Line's gone a bit slack. Ah, it's gone slack. I'm on a pyramid lead. So it wouldn't take much to trip it, but probably got to change that. There is a bit of tide out there. Pulling it back. And what is going on with this rig? I ain't using that one. That's got that's a knot that's not as well in it on the top hook. That's one of my bigger ones that I was using at the channel a while back. Single hook one, yep. Right, let's get that in there. Sort it out when I get back. There might be a fish on that. Tighten up a bit. Go. It's pulled quite nicely now. Yeah, it's a lovely evening. So on my pulley rigs, I don't really go anything over £40 snoods now. I used to normally double up what I got with my with my um with my rig body. But I just don't think there's any need. I really don't. £40 plenty down here anyway. Well, I have down here for most places. I mean, it's more. I think your main reason of upping your snood, rather than the actual poundage of fish you're fishing for. Obviously, I mean, if you're fishing for big fish, yeah, you've got to up that poundage, make sure it's man enough. But like anything you're really going to catch in the UK, barring say taupe and like rays and that, even a £20 ray, that would do well to break £40 line. I really think it would. It's more the abrasion resistance what the hook snood gives, in my opinion, anyway. So it's all in good. It's the actual thickness of line which is more the abrasion resistance. Because obviously more line, more line to chafe through. But on the whole, see, yeah, this is £40 amnesia. To be fair, even that's quite big. To be fair, it's, when you don't deal with big tides as well. Up here, a 6 metre tide is a really big tide, one of the biggest. But when you go down the channel and some other places, they're 10 or 12 metre tides. So there's more flow in the water to make your bait look more appealing, and there's more flow. Where here is, if you've got £80 hook snood, you're going to kind of just be on the floor, and you haven't really got the tide flow to present it properly. So my loop rigs, I don't go anything over. Well, I actually think I've went down to £15. £15 on my loop hook snoods, and then my pulleys I range from 20, 30 and 40, just depending on where I'm fishing, the conditions, such. If I'm chucking out a pulley rig down say the Nays, I'd definitely whack it up to £40. But it's when you get into the £80 and the £100, I just think it's just a bit unnecessary, really. I'm not fishing big baits today. One hook pulley. Get out some Baitex just to pin that bait down. Can be varying the distances as well. Very simple pulley rig, bit of squid, 4-ounce lead. I like to use imps. I know I'm using the breakaway leads, but I've just got loads at home. I do use the imps. They're fantastic. I just tie imps on my um, bottom link in my rig. Just tie them on, rather than a quick link. That is my quick link stuff. Yeah. Right. This is quite mad actually, because I always say how much I don't like catching whiting, but I tell you what, last year there were some big ones, and this is a stonking whiting. Ugh. Let's get him on it quickly. Give him a wipe off. Oh, look at that. I'm happy with that. For not catching a fish, well, a decent fish in so long, that is alright. Now, he is quite deep hooked. I'm going to attempt the disgorger, but I don't think he'll be going back. Honest we are. So he might be coming out for the table. Right. I won't film the disgorging because I know some people don't necessarily like that. So yes, off the mark. So the hook come out pretty easy. So I reckon he'll go back. We have it. Tell you what, on the light tackle, these are great fun. I know people moan about them and because they come in abundance, but if they're that size, pack a light rod, packet of worms, an earth rig. This is what will get young people into fishing. I mean, young kids, take them out, nice evening, loads of these. I would have that all day long. But it's getting back. That was on the pulley rig. So while my earth rig is out there, I am going to get up another loop rig. Right. Or I say a loop rig, I might try to a clip down, you know, two above the lead. No, we'll keep it with a loop rig. Keep it with a loop rig. So I'm actually going with size 2.0, 2 loop. Yeah. Oh, sorry. One hook is a size 1. One hook's a 2.0. This is when this is what I normally do when I would have a bigger hook on the bottom. So if I was fishing, just get you straight again. So if I was fishing, if I was fishing a ray bait on the bottom and then a worm bait on top, this is what I would use. So when I do my loop rigs, like what I was saying to you about the hook snoods and how they react different in the water to obviously the amount of tide, size of bait, etc. So everyone that knows a loop rig, you've got a bottom bit from a cascade swivel. I always do that bit heavier than the actual bottom snood. So I normally use £20 hook snood for the bulk of the bottom snood, and then my little bit coming off the cascade, which I will show you now, is £30 or £40. Just gives that a bit of abrasion resistance in the fish's mouth. But the majority of the snood is £20 line. Very simple stuff. I've made a mess of this one. There we go, lovely stuff. Yeah, so this bit here is actually a bit thicker than this snood. So it's the same snood, but the business end is a bit thicker. Right, so we get the pulley rig out of the way quickly. Let's get some more worms in here. Oh, I'm sort of putting them all in there. I'm burning for it in quite quickly. I use 4 worms on the first bait up, so I'll use 4 again. 2. Use 2 worms on each hook. So what I was saying, the bait stop, that is a bit of a nylon tubing, and that's basically the line has gone back on itself. So you put a line back on itself in a loop, and then that creates bait stop. Very, very handy bait stop to have. And then just a sequin, and then that's a size 1 mustard Viking. No, is it? Oh, I've got a bite on that. It's gone slack. Tighten that up. Oh, well, ladies and gentlemen, it was just going quiet. Didn't really have much going on. And my loop rig went slack. And a lovely, lively thornback ray. Yeah, this is like a typical fish down this way this time of year. Kind of that £3 mark. They do get bigger, but in recent years, not been so big. But welcome nonetheless. When it's quiet, a nice, lively thornback ray will always wake you up. I was half asleep in the bivvy on my phone, and it woke me up, which is good. So this is what we come out for, isn't it? Some nice fish, not massive fish, but it puts a bend in the rod, and it keeps you going. Yeah, let's have it. It's getting back, and then hopefully we get some more. So that was on the loop rig, the lugworm bait on the size 1 mustard, the mustard hook. So that just goes to show you don't need massive baits, especially for these not too big thornback rays. You know what I mean? It's size 1 hook is ample. Size 1 hook and a bit of worm, you'll catch anything down here. And the beauty of fine wire hooks, as long as they're not too out of shape, you can just bend back into shape. Like the point's there still, as long as you've got the actual curve in the hook still, you can always bend them out and then bend them back in again. They're not just going to break. If they're bent 90 degrees, yeah, it's probably done. But I bent the hook ever so slightly, having to get that out of the thornback ray's mouth. But good fine wire, you just bend it back, and then it's good to go again. My torch has died, so you might not be able to see me properly. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this baited back up. Same again on this, and then have I got bait? Hold up, I'm going to whack out this squid bait on this. Whack out a squid. Oh no, squid wasn't actually touched. So what I'll do, get some worm back on this. I'll be lazy. I'll chuck out that squid again. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to cut it off. Put on a fresh bit. Ah, that just literally popped all over me. Jesus. Yeah, lovely. Nice little ray. Oh, that's gone slack. Ooh, let's have it. Oh, that's gone slack. Yeah. Has it lost that? Yeah, I've dropped that. So if they're coming towards me, or I've dropped that. Yeah, dropped it. It's a shame. It's the thing, when you've got a slack liner, you've got to choose whether to wait and hope it connects again, or you just reel and hope for the best. Got that one wrong. Let's get it baited back up.